Today, we are talking about a fairly difficult aspect of shadow work, the relationship we have, or don't, with our own personal demons. So, pour a cup and let's talk. I don't think you're quite on camera. That's better. Hi, how you doing? Clarification. Inner demons are not the same as demonic possession or negative spirit attachment. If you've got a squatter, please seek professional help immediately. Hi folks, I'm Cypris. Welcome back to the wild. Yeah, I love you. Shadow work is a lifelong journey. It's complicated and messy, and frankly, I can get a bit sick of it from time to time, but here we are. The subject is just never not relevant. Having demons inside of us is generally how we talk about the dark places in our souls, our personalities, latent behavioral or emotional tics that seem unnecessarily destructive, violent, or toxic. Like having a rage that boils out seemingly out of nowhere and turns you into some awful monster you don't even recognize and leaves you feeling really ashamed of yourself. Or maybe you have a toxic trait that makes you respond to stress by running away rather than just showing up and taking care of business. It's different for everyone, but your demons are the bits of you that you don't quite recognize as you, or don't want to. Because you wouldn't act that way, or feel that way, or what have you. We've all got them. The human soul has some really dark places, no exceptions. And I want to share with you my take on negotiating with and even healing your personal demons. Quick disclaimer, I am not a trained psychotherapist. Do not take this video as a substitute for medical or psychiatric advice. I am coming to this topic having myself been dragged through the Shadowlands for miles and miles and miles. Now, personally, I think one of the biggest reasons our inner demons are such a universal human problem is because culturally we are conditioned to willfully not deal with them. Cast away anything unseemly. Get thee behind me, Satan! We try to banish the unsavory parts of ourselves as if they are interlopers and ne'er-do-wells that have materialized from outside of us for the express purpose of tainting and putrefying our souls. So many of us are taught to deal with the darkness by casting it away or tamping it down. So we refuse to really look at it, as if seeing our demons clearly will somehow make things worse or leave us tempted. And we cram that fiery darkness all back down into the deepest soul cellar and refuse to deal with it at all, which is exactly the best way to trigger those demons to rage up stronger than ever and at the most inopportune of times. Yeah, human problems. Again, you just cannot manage your demons by force of will. They're too primordial for that. You can spend your life exhaustedly trying in vain to keep them caged. Yet, when you try to lock them up, restrain them, bury them, and throw away the key, they respond to that as an attack. Because you are essentially attacking and suppressing your own psyche by ignoring your demons. Ultimately, your demons will only calm down when they no longer perceive a threat. So, what can you do? Well, I have some thoughts on that. What I would like to do in this video is share with you the lens I have for looking at this issue. My hope would be that there is some nugget in my approach that will inspire your own methodology for internal demonology. That did not need to rhyme, did it? Some people call all of this parts work, if that term works better for you. But I'm particular in how I visualize internal demons because to me, they're not broken parts of ourselves, they're functioning exactly as they should, albeit usually without necessary guidance. I imagine my demons as gargoyles, or grotesques more accurately, but that's a whole other discussion. Gargoyles look evil and scary, but they're plastered all over old churches. Why? Their job is to scare away the actual evil, to protect the sacred space of the church from negative forces. And it is the same with your internal demons. They are your fierce protectors. Your inner demons are all little independent creations of your psyche that developed in your infancy and early childhood when you experienced trauma, either literal or perceived. Importantly, each and every demon was born out of a need for you to be protected. And that's still their primary function, to protect you. That rage that takes you over, that's to protect you, or the innocence deep within you, from being violated or damaged. That lack of self-control eating, it may very well be that you were starved as a child, either starved of love or you were literally not allowed the same resources as others. And now you have a demon that makes damn sure you get your share. That violent temper, likely you experienced unchecked anger in an adult when you were very small and defenseless. And now you have a demon that rages like a hellhound when you feel even slightly vulnerable. A lot of us had really crappy childhoods that allowed a lot of these attack dog demons to develop. But even those who had lovely childhoods still had moments that slapped their innocence into oblivion. And from these moments, our demons are born. And since we unfortunately can have so many traumatizing moments throughout early childhood, it's not hard to see how, by the time we're grown, we can develop great flocks of these muscly flying avengers. And most of it happens so early, when we were so little, so young, we probably don't even remember it. We just have these mysterious, seemingly evil creatures festering inside of us, waiting for their opportunities to rear up in fury and ugliness. And we all know, of course, that that is not a healthy way to deal with life, stress, and other people. Letting them fly out unrestrained to cause all manner of hurt and damage is not okay. And wielding them irresponsibly like that does reflect quite poorly on you. But, and I want to make this point, the fact alone that your demons exist in all their destructive, hurtful glory does not make you a bad person. We all have them. I can't emphasize that enough. If you don't have any internal demons, congratulations, you're not self-aware. End of story. You are not a bad person, and your demons are not evil. But they do need to be reined in. Because again, any decent person can see how it's not a healthy or long-term solution to burn the whole world down. Tempting. But not good. Your demons were formed for one thing, and one thing only: to fight, to ravage and demolish with all strength and all violence to protect you. Period. And that is exactly what they're still trying to do. Obviously, again, this doesn't manifest in healthy ways unless you are conscientiously in mastery with them. Not over them, with them, but we'll get to that. The internal demon is, by its pure nature, destructive. It's very much raise the village energy. And they have to be strong berserkers like that to be our protectors. The unfortunate part is, your demons do not have the self-reflective intellectual capacity to manage themselves. As we're all aware, They are a knee-jerk, monodimensional response to uncomfortable stimuli. Overeating to make up for a childhood lack of food or love, or lashing out in violence at those around you makes things a lot worse in the present and does not actually do anything to heal your wounded innocence. That kind of slash and burn approach to problems is only appropriate on a literal battlefield, if even then. And we can surely intuit that going to battle with the out-of-focus memory of childhood enemies rather than rationally navigating your current situation is just gonna make for a whole lot of new problems, possibly inspiring the formation of new demons in your own children. Generational trauma. Now, I want to point something out here that may be counterintuitive. The way our demons manifest in our lives, if we haven't healed them, is pretty messed up on a surface level. But these legions of dysfunction that sleep, or not, deep in the basements of our psyches are evidence that we love ourselves truly and deeply enough to create sometimes armies of monsters whose singular and collective purpose is to protect us from continued damage. And yet, their lack of cognitive abilities causes problems. Unchecked, these avenging legions can and will wreak havoc for us and anyone around us. The thing is, they are not supposed to be that bright. We are. It's our job to do the observations and the thinking and the analysis of situations and to manage how we navigate through. Our demons are waiting for our management of them. Okay, then how do we call off the dogs of war? Yeah, that's the tricky part, isn't it? We can't just tell them to stop. We certainly can't use force of will to shove them back into their cages or just shove them back down into our subconscious basement of nightmares, epic shames, and personal horrors and expect they'll stay down there. They are too powerful for even us to control and will react violently to any show of force, including from us. They will bite back at the ego to protect the innocents. And they have only two modes as far as I can tell. One, everything is safe and handled, so we rest. Or two, danger lurks. Go berserk on everyone and everything. And I would query, how often in this world are we in a state of true peace and safety? Yeah, exactly. So there's only one option, and a lot of people don't like this, for that way might lie madness. Like any good epic narrative, we must willingly descend into the underworld to understand our journey. We have to go down into that sub-basement of the self and find the beasts of our souls where they live and befriend them. Gain their trust, show them appreciation and gratitude, even love them, reassure them that you understand the situation and there is no threat to what's left of your innocence. I keep using innocence rather than inner child. I do have reasons for that, but that's a whole other video. Ultimately, we must make allies of our demons. I don't know that I can really instruct anyone on this. It's deeply personal work, and it requires a lot of honest self-reflection and plunging deep into the murky waters of our unconsciousness. To take away a demon's fight, you must first take away what goads it to fury in the first place. You have to find the triggers. You have to learn how to teach yourself that you are not, in fact, in danger when you encounter the otherwise mundane circumstances that trigger you. And this is the part that is so time-consuming and laborious. We have to take the mop bucket down into the sub caverns of our soul's basements and cellars and clean it up. Organize. Marie Kondo that shit. Don't be afraid of startling the flocks of bats and stirring up nests of spiders. Find the doors for all those skeleton keys and open them up and drag out the skeletons and lay them more properly to rest. Do the work of grieving. Do the work of solving your own internal haunted mysteries. And I can tell you, in my own personal experience, every time I think I've got this basement cleaned up and sorted, I discover yet another cobwebby staircase down to yet another, even lower level. And on the surface, this work appears distasteful. Who wants to crawl deep into a dark subterranean cavern, knee-deep in bat guano and every unpleasant detail of our lives we'd rather never look at again? But it is our dark cave full of batshit, and no one else is going to clean it out for us. Ultimately, you must spend time with your demons and comfort any monsters you have hiding under the beds and in the closets and dank corners of your subconscious. Again, they need reassurance that all is well. And if you're not familiar, let me tell you, reassuring your demons is not an easy thing to do. Nay, nay. The process is a journey and a long one and difficult. And it is different for each of us. Everyone's demons have their own peculiarities and origin stories. Additionally, we don't always understand all the factors involved in what triggers us out of our sense of safety. So just when you think you've got all your little monsters calm, fed, and napping, something that you don't even consciously notice happens, and suddenly they're all up and snarling and raging through you like bats out of hell. The work is not easy, so much so that a lot of folks won't even touch it. I think we all know people like that, but it's so worth it. And the most amazing results can happen because if you can befriend your demons, not see them as self-sabotage, but as your champions, if you can earn their trust, you can wield them. You can guide and direct them to use their great force for good, because this is their true wish and purpose all along, to serve you, to empower you, to live in your full strength. It's a lifetime of work, but in the process, you make a much more comfortable space to kennel your demons. You show them that you do not need protecting the way you did before. You show them that you are in control of the things, and they don't have cause as much to fly off the handle and rage like unchained dragons. Your demons begin, very slowly, to trust you. Again, it's not a one and done, like feeding a stray cat once and congratulations, you now own a cat. Demons are skittish and flighty and unruly and don't tend to trust anything. Certainly not even your own self. It's not an easy relationship. But, in my opinion, this level of true self-mastery is extremely important, even mandatory for the evolution of the soul, or just for living functionally in this world. Have I mastered this process? God, no. But I'm not a novice either. I have learned to know my demons, or most of them. I'm sure I've still got plenty that have escaped my notice and run amok, raising all the little villages now and then. But I am better now at identifying the strays, at calling my gargoyles home, at showing them I will keep safe that last remnant of innocence that's in me. That they can trust me to navigate this path. And yeah, I'm not perfect. I slip up, I don't anticipate everything, and suddenly all my beasts are off the chain and I have to sort out what even happened. It's a lot, but it's an intrinsic part of this classroom of life we're all here to learn in. And with practice, it does get easier and easier. I do realize this all sounds a bit miserable, and maybe it is at first, but it's so freaking satisfying. There is nothing like rolling up to a situation with all your demons at rest yet at the ready, just waiting for your signal. It's powerful. It's transformative. And there is so much peace in teaching your monsters how to be good boys, napping in their kennels. And I do also realize that this entire discussion has been one big, long metaphor. I guess I don't know how else one approaches the labyrinth of the psyche. But always use the tools that work for you. Find your own metaphor or framework. Forge your own relationship. Manage your own inner kingdom in the best way for you. Hi. Don't burn yourself. Hi. My hope is that sharing my own paradigm will offer some glimmer or resonance for you, or inspire you in how you can best proceed on your own journey of the self. I suspect that if you've made it this far in the video, something is resonating. If so, I'd love to see your thoughts in the comments. It really helps me to get a sense of what this community wants to see in my content. Holy shit, you totally burned your tail! Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't think it'll focus on it, but holy shit. It smells like burnt hair in here. I shouldn't be laughing. That could have hurt, but you've got a very fluffy tail. Oh my god. Oh my god, that stinks so bad. I shouldn't laugh at you, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm trying to be serious. You gotta be quiet for a little bit longer. The final thought I'd like to leave you with... Hi. The final thought I'd like to leave you with is this. You, too, can love your demons. It's a matter of understanding them as not the worst of you. Rather, they're your well-meaning, if dumb, champions. And they're just waiting for you to take the lead. I wish you all the best in this journey. As one who has traversed more of the Shadowlands than I ever would have willingly, it is worth it. And you can do it. And I'm pulling for you. Wild ones, I'll see you in the next video, and until then, keep your shadow wild. Oh, you want to go inside my sweater? Is this necessary? Hi. Fairly difficult aspect of cars going by really loudly. Parts work, but that car is going by really loudly. You get a tax break for not having a muffler in this county? This fan does not slap. Holy. Hi. Little video bummer. You smell like burnt plastic. I guess that's burnt hair, but it smells like plastic. Oh, shit. Ugh. That I didn't think through. The green chain on the green screen. That's gonna be marvelous. Just marvelous. If you can be in the shot, I need you to pretend you're napping. You too. Yeah. This isn't really what I had in mind for the shot, but we can do this. Everybody's driving by like, what the fuck? Don't mind me.